Now this right here is definitely one of the coolest type tarp setups you can do with a square tarp. And again, we're using our PSTL, the large 10 by 10 foot by 10 foot. This is in woodland camo. This fabric is darn near as lightweight as sil nylon. It's pretty close. And but what I pitched up here is kind of it's almost a Baker style, almost a Whelen style traditional tent. If I were to pitch this tent stake right here, so the sides on both sides come straight up and down, it would be quite a bit like a Baker, only a Baker has a straight up back wall for a little ways. But anyway, dimensionally, at the very back, side to side, we're about 7 feet. And currently, the way we're configured here, we're about 11 feet at the front, side to side. Right here at the top of the pitch here, we're 5 feet, just a hair over 5 feet tall right there. So as you can see, it gives us a lot of room, and it has an advantage over, say, it's kind of like a lean-to, only we've given ourselves sides. So a couple guys could easily sleep in here if they wanted to, and be protected, you know, from the back and both sides and the top, and be in pretty good shape. So this is a nice setup. Now this setup is based on a diagonal. I'm going to have to show you probably a little bit about how to set it up. It's a little more complicated. I mean, it's not really complicated, but it's a little more involved than some of the other setups. But I'll show you in the process here of where to make your folds and where to put your stakes and everything like that. And I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to show you to make it a little more like a Whelen. Let me show you one thing I can do that makes it almost a Whelen tent, that's a traditional camping tent. So let me show you that right now. Alright, so now we have a Whelen style setup. It's not quite the same, but it's close. Other than this awning right here is a little bit different on a Whelen, the way it comes out, and the sides come out a little bit more than this, but it's pretty darn close. You know, you can do all these different setups, including this really nice Whelen style setup. This style right here was used back in the early days in camping, back in the golden era, I guess you could say. And some of the folks like Whelen, and some of them had styles of tents like this that they lived in for months at a time. And so this is a very nice setup, very good. All I did is pull my corner, because you know we pitched, like I told you, we pitched this on a diagonal. We folded under the back corner, that's right here, and I just pulled it underneath here as a ground cloth. The front corner right here, we just pulled it out and took the first 2 tabs from the corner and tied out back to the sides here. Now we got an awning. So now we got a nice little setup. Very roomy, very comfortable. If you were one person that wanted to have all your stuff and be pretty nice and cozy, this could be the way to do it right here. Let me show you a little bit about the setup now. It's a little bit more involved than some of the others. Okay, so now to give you an idea how you set this up, like I say, this is actually a diagonal setup. We're just not using the diagonal corners, but we're using the advantage of the diagonal. So this is where the diagonal corner here, the other is over on the front side on the awning. So what you do is, you see the tabs here, there's a corner one, then you go 1, 2, in the third one from the corner is where you put your tent stake. So you count off on both sides, put your tent stake there. That forms the back wall right there. And this part here, that part there just folds up inside if you want. And now I'll show you actually there's one other thing you can do. you can pull back on this tab right here and, you know, do a little bit of a pull out if you want to, especially if the weather's a little heavy or something, just to keep this a little taut right here. Okay, so now the next thing we do is we come to, this is actually a corner. This is a regular corner on the tarp. So we're going to stake that out. That can be staked out so that it does, this one I've made it so it pulls out this way a little bit on an angle. I can stake it out so it's straight up and down vertical walls here if I want to, but like, why not pull it out a little bit? It gives you a little bit more room. So that's how that goes. Okay, next you want to have 2 poles about 5 feet tall or more, and ideally this was nice because it had a little fork right here, and I chopped off the fork and put the tab right here. And now again, this is the 3rd tab back from the corner, just like we did on the back side, and that's where this goes. And so what we do here, we pull this up. Now it's pulled with a cord, a parachute cord, diagonally to the forward and then straight across, so that so we can pull both sides, so we can take out the slack in the middle. So that's how we do that. Alright, so coming off the awning here, on this side what I did is I came down over here to the tent stake right here that also holds this pole on this right side here. Now ideally you can see there's a little bit of wrinkling in this. So if I use just another different tent stake, I was just lazy, I could pull that down probably a little bit more evenly. Like I did on the left side, I pulled it down to its own stake. So there you go, a Whelen style tent. Basically, they call this a Whelen tent. So it's a Whelen style tent made out of our PSTL, our 10 by 10 tarp, set up like this. So like I say, it's not really hard to put up. What I recommend is when you put it up, don't pound your tent stakes all the way in, because you might have to adjust them a little bit. But I started at the back corners like I showed you back there, came to the front, and I put my uprights. Then I did a little bit of tweaking from there, and then kind of wound up like this. And then when you're all said and done, then you go around to all your lines, tie a taut line in them, go around to all your lines and just snug them down. So very, very nice setup. Whelen style setup.